What's going on, guys? It's Dr. Freeze here at the Lighthouse, and today I'm going to teach you how to thread. I'll be going over 3 main threading techniques: going inward, going outward, and going backwards. So if you're ready to learn how to thread, give me a like and subscribe, and let's get to it. Threading is a very old concept that hasn't really been expanded much, but it can be very trippy when used right. The master of threading is hands down Ayo Icarus. This guy's threading is on a whole nother level, and if you want some inspiration, check out his videos. Now, the videos are pretty old, but they're way ahead of his time. To learn threading, you first must know finger rolls. These are the key to so many different moves. So if you still don't have clean finger rolls, stop whatever you're doing and go watch that video for your own sake. The first type of thread I'm gonna teach you is the pointers out. We're gonna lift up some imaginary dumbbells and then let them disappear. So our hands are gonna be like this, kind of angled towards each other. And all we're gonna do is open one finger at a time and layer them on top of each other. As you open up your hands, spread them outwards and complete the thread. Now the next thread is pointers in. So we're gonna have our hands in any position really. They could be facing upward, they could be facing downward, it really don't matter. But all we're gonna do is, just like before, we're gonna open one at a time and we're gonna layer our fingers on top of each other. And then as we bring it closer, we're gonna pull them all in. Now, remember to take this slow at first, or else it's gonna look super sloppy. You want some clean placement with these threads. Just take it slow and make it clean. Make it clean, clean, clean. Now try going outward and then inward. Continuously. Now we'll go pinkies out. And these are the same thing as before. We're just starting with our pinkies, layering them one at a time, going outwards, and then closing the whole thing as we come down. And then pinkies in. This one is often slept on, but this one looks badass, yo. So with our hands out like this, we're gonna bring our pinkies inward one at a time, and we're gonna thread them together like so. Now I'm gonna go over the backwards threads. And these are the most slept on, but these are so dope. These are seriously the sickest ones that nobody does. So we're gonna put our hands back to back, and I prefer to do them stacked on top of each other like this, instead of like this. Because this one, it could work. I guess it could work. Do what you want. But for this exercise, we'll stack our hands together like this. And just like before, we're just gonna open them one at a time and thread them through. And then we are gonna close them one at a time. It's pretty much running 2 finger rolls at the same time. And the same thing here. You could start with your pointers or with your pinkies. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. You could leave one hand stable and thread the other one on top of it, like so. You can mix up your front threads and your back threads. So here I go pointers in, grab these 2 pinkies, flip my hands so they go reverse, and then do a back thread right here. And then you're back to this. You can make it infinite if you wanted to. Back threads are badass, and they could really trip the viewer out because it looks like the hands are being replaced. Kind of like stacks. Experiment with all these different positions and see what works for you. Now, a few tips for your threads. Instead of bringing them to the center like this, you could even wrap them around the other hand and go around it. Your placement is really key in threading, and you want precision in these threads, especially when you're keeping one hand stable, because threads can look sloppy and messy very easily because there's so many moving parts and different lights kind of layered next to each other. So you want to keep these clean and isolated. Now, the last tip for your threads, if you ever get stuck in any threads, you can use poking as a transition into or out of your threads. So if we're threading over here and we get stuck right here, you can poke, 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 and then do a thread over here. And then you can poke, 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 and then thread over here. Poking is a great and easy transition that will help you move out of positions that you're stuck in. Well, I hope you learned something new today. Go take this and be the light in someone's world. Thank you again for watching this video. If you got any value out of this, please give me a subscribe and comment below what your biggest takeaway was. What kind of threads do you like the best? Do you like the inwards, the outwards, the backwards? How do you like your threads? Let me know down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week. Peace.